and happy Monday. Now, I know that sounds like an oxymoron, something that doesn't really make sense, like jumbo shrimp or awfully good or wearing pants to work from home. But if you're watching today on display with us, what is not to like? Chances are you're unwinding on the couch, feet up, maybe cracking open a cold one, sitting next to a loved one, ready to win some big ones. Yes, this all sounds like good news to me. Good news, by the way? Not an oxymoron. There's plenty of good being put out in the world, and a lot of it by content creators like the ones we are going to be highlighting today on display. Tonight, we are going to kick things off with our app du jour, aka our display tip of the day, communities, people to connect with, yes, and ultimately help you make more money. Then we're highlighting traveling man Michael Machado in our creator spotlight. After that, we're sitting down with writer, drag artist, and advertising maven Dana Angelo to play Posted Up and On the Spot. And last but not least, we'll complete our night with a game of trivia where you could win up to $10,000. It is all happening right here in the app. You are in the right place. So if you want any of that, stay right here. Now, speaking of which, do you want to learn something new about this app? Yes, I'm going to pretend you're all nodding with me. Maybe you are. Maybe you're going off in the chat. What's up, everyone? Throw me some love in the chat. Tell me where you're watching from. So today I'm here to tell you about communities, right? Which, by the way, sort of you have in this chat right now, right? This is a community. This is a great group that you can get to know. But communities on display are groups that you can join around a shared interest. So they help you connect with like-minded individuals and see the kind of content that you're actually interested in. Plus, if you're posting to a specific community, in addition to your regular posts, right, on your feed, you're also posting to a community, your content is likely appearing in more timelines, therefore giving you an additional chance to earn, which is great because we're here for the community, but we're also here for the money. So let's take a look at how you can utilize this feature. All right, so you got your main profile. You're going to tap into that menu on the top left of your screen, those three little lines, and then you're going to go down to communities, which is in beta, which means we are still evolving this feature because we're still a new app, right? We're still developing. So communities is a work in progress, and you can see all of the communities here that you've joined, any invitations that you've gotten. You can choose to accept them, you can join them, you can deny them. And we can also take a look at things that are suggested to you, right? Or communities that you can create. Let's see what actually a community would look like, right? So let's go into world traveling. This is amazing. Now I can see all kinds of travel content. I love to travel. It's one of the reasons I use social media because I can't always travel. Cue pandemic, right? We couldn't travel during then. So I love to see what other people are experiencing, the food, the culture, the scenery. So world traveling is definitely a community that I love being a part of. And it just shows me all the different travel content. So I know when I'm heading there, I am going to see that travel content instead of just all of the mix of content that I would see in my feed. Now, let's say I'm posting to world traveling. That means people that are following or a part of this community are going to see my content more frequently, which means I'm going to earn more money because there are more ads appearing in communities as well. So, by getting paid off the dividends, if your content is appearing in more places, you're posting frequently, it's appearing in more spots, you are going to be making more money. So it's a great way, of course, to connect with people who like the same kind of content that you do, and also, of course, to earn. Community and earning, they really do go hand in hand. Now, let's say you want to create, right, your own community. You can do that too. So let's say you don't see something that you want to see a community for. So I don't know. I know there are communities for cats, but let's say I want to do one where cats and dogs are together in photos, because who doesn't love multiple animals in photos? And I could call it the cat dog community, right? And I could make my own community and start that and share it with everyone. So yeah, all kinds of stuff that you can do. But this is amazing. I mean, display itself is the #1 community here on social media. We got the best people. I mean, look at this crew. Look at this crew right now. Y'all are saying hello to each other in the chat. I'm loving that. Jerry, 1992, hello, with a smiley face. I see some newbies tuning in. Welcome. It's good to see you. Daybar's tuning in from Colombia. We've got Sage Alsani from India. We've got Venezuela in the house. We have Ireland here. Sierra O'Connor's here. We got JRed444 repping the USA. What's up? What's up? We're all coming together here. Hello, Dav31. Good to see y'all. All right. Well, stick around because next up we've got our creator spotlight. And speaking of traveling content, you're not going to want to miss it. We'll see you in a sec.
Welcome to Display Tips. The best way to get the most out of display is to explore and discover. Let's take a quick glance at your display home screen. Swipe up and scroll through the newsfeed to see inspiring content from other creators. When you see something you tap like, comment, share, support, or all of them. Ready to create your own content? Tap the Create icon for photo, video, GIFs, filters, live streaming, and more. Then start sharing. Watch for more tips on Display TV.
I'm from Long Beach, girl. With so much drama in the LBC, it's kinda hard being Snoop Eagle Double G. But I somehow, some way, keep coming up with funky ass shit like every single day. May I kick a little something for the G's and make a few ends as I breeze through 2 in the morning and
I ain't joking, do it sound like I'm kidding. I've been making like 2,000 a minute. So high up in the clouds, I was swimming. I'm probably gonna drown when I'm in it. I bet she gonna get loud when I'm in it. And we might have a child. I won't love a hoe after we fuck, she can't get near me. Only bitch I give a conversation to is
I'm coming in fast. First place, you coming in last. I'm hitting that gas. I'm hitting that. My body, I'm coming in fast.
Welcome back to Today on Display. I'm your host, Sarah Pribis. Now, we've just talked about communities, which help you connect with others on the app and give you an additional way to earn. One type of community I've mentioned that I've always been a fan of is the travel-based ones. And that's actually where I was able to discover traveling man Michael Machado. So let's take a look at some of his content in today's Creator Spotlight. Yes, that's the traveling man himself. What's really cool about Michael is he is a nurse specifically traveling on cruise ships. He is attending to anyone that's on cruises. So he is literally traveling the world, seeing incredible places and scenery and trying new foods and helping people. So he documents all of it. He puts it on display. Here he is in Bali. I mean, he's been all over. He's been on this show, in fact, but I figured it's been a while. I wanted to remind y'all that he exists on this app because he's such a great guy and he really does post such great travel content. Let's take a look at what else. I mean, this is a classic photo from San Francisco. I'm loving it. He does a lot of scenic photography without him in it. He shows a lot of his food that he's trying. Again, he incorporates some of his personality, but really gives you a great mix of global travel pictures and locations. What else have we got from Michael, the traveling man? All right, beautiful view in Madeira. I mean, literally no filter. He also really gives the story behind the post, which I'm a big fan of. Instead of just posting a location, he gives you the location. He tells you sort of his experience there, what's going on. It's almost serving as a bit of a blog. So if you're someone who really loves the story behind the photo, wants to get to different locations in the world, but you might not be able to physically, he is such a perfect follow. What else? Where else is Michael taking us? Denmark. I love it. Classic Denmark photo. He gives a shrug here. Denmark is definitely on my list of places I have not been, but I'd love to go. This guy has gotten everywhere. Let's see where else he's taken us. All right. This is actually, I know where he's from. He is from Portugal, which is really cool. I think this is his best sort of like Tarzan photograph. It makes me think of sort of like a Tarzan picture here. But yeah, this is his home. This is where he's based out of. He's based in Portugal, and then he travels the world from there on this cruise ship, helping others as a nurse and documenting all of it to help us, right? Because I get so much out of this. Okay, Hawaii, Honolulu. Ooh, okay, that is a place I need to go ASAP. Let me know in the chat, have you been to Hawaii? Because this is pretty high up on my list of places to go. Poke bowls, I need to see some of those. We've got Jordan here. Look how beautiful that is. I mean, this guy has truly traveled more places than I will probably ever get in my life. And fortunately for me, I get to at least see them through social media. It's a real treat. Okay, I think we got one more final. Yep, this is in Shanghai, China. I've been to Japan, never been to China. Speaking of which, who's watching the Olympics? Have you been tuning in? I know we got a pretty global audience here showing up in the chat. So welcome everyone. So happy that you're here. And again, tag Display TV and Today on Display if you want to be featured. And of course, be sure that you are posting that awesome original content, telling stories, following the trending hashtags. That is what we want to see. Woo! I'm seeing people are ready for trivia. Well, you're in the right place. We'll be right back to spin the wheel. Don't miss it.
Hey, I'm Tiki Barber, former University of Virginia student athlete and also former New York Giant running back. I can't tell you how excited I am to announce the partnership between Influencer and Display. So what's Display? Display is social that pays. This revolutionary social media app is changing the game for college athletes, and now it's your turn to play. Welcome to the brand new world on social media. Welcome to Display, social that pays.
You're my queen, all that I need, got it, I'm in. Radio hitting rainbows, ultralight beams. Sport plays more like tennis, don't need a team. It's just me and you, and it's everything that is seen. Hey. Come on, let's do some things we never do. Hey.
Word out, I'm getting to it like clockwork now. My head is cracked and they all burned out. They talk shit, but it's my turn now. And it should have been my first round. Young Tiller, what the fuck was you worried about? Who was talking all this shit? I'ma bury him now. I'ma tell it.
Hey! That's my signature dance move. That's all I got. I got that and I got money. Welcome back to Today on Display. I'm your host, Sarah Pribis, and it's time for Display Trivia, or at least the wheel spin portion of it. So here's how it's going to work. I'm going to spin the wheel. As you can see, we've got $1,000 slots, $2,500 slots, and $5,000 slots available for your taking. If you can answer all the trivia questions, that is. So let's find out what we're playing for tonight. Let's spin the wheel. Woo! I guess this is another signature dance move. What should I do during this? I really have no idea. You let me know in the comments. I guess all you really care about is how much are we playing for? We're playing for $1,000. Woo! All right, folks, here's how it's going to work. You're going to stay right where you are, right in the app, unless you want to text your friends. Bring them on in. In just a little bit, the questions are going to appear on your screen. There's 10 of them. You're going to have 10 seconds to answer each one. If you get them all right, you get a piece of that $1,000 spin. Woo! That was a hard word for me to come up with. $1,000 prize pot. We'll stick with that. All right, folks, I'll be right back with more Today on Display.
Welcome to Display Tips. Let's get introduced to Profile. Tap the profile on bottom right of screen. Here, you can personalize your display experience. Tap the pencil icon to edit your profile picture, cover photo, basic user info including contact, and link to your other social media accounts. Select your preferred language, identify top friends and family members. You can also create and manage your communities here. Watch for more tips on Display TV.
Welcome back to Today on Display. Our guest today is a writer, drag artist, and advertising maven. She was also my roommate in New York a long time ago. Please say hello to Dana Angelo.
Hi, don't say it was that long ago.
I mean, I feel like it was a long time ago. It was like almost 10 years ago now.
I mean, we're still both like 25. So
we are
totally
both still
fine.
25. We moved to New York when we were babies. We were like first roommates together. So I won't age us that much. But hey, it's so good to see you. I'm so happy that you're here.
You too. Thank you so much for having me. I was looking forward to this for like 2 weeks now since you invited me. So
This is
thank
how
you.
this is how I connect to people these days. I don't like text or do phone calls. I'm like, do you want to just come be on the show and talk about your creative journey?
Hell yes.
Yeah.
Why not? Yes.
That's what
I'd
we're
rather
doing.
talk about that than catch up on life stuff, honestly.
Exactly. This is the real good stuff. So Dana, like, you are so multifaceted and such a great inspiration to others in what, you know, it looks like to be a creative person pursuing passions and an ambitious career. So I'm really excited to, you know, have others hear your story and also to dive into our first segment. You know it, you love it, it's Posted Up. All right, so in this, basically, I'm going to pull up one of your posts. You're going to tell me the story behind the post, whatever it is you want to tell. If it's a look, how you created that look, maybe that moment, that night, or if it's something that plays to a larger story, you can give me that as well. So let's take a look at the first post that we've got. Whoa! Tell me about this fabulous, fabulous character.
So that would be Miss Kitty Meringue, my drag alter ego. That was in pre-pandemic days, me doing a drag brunch at the Standard downtown in Los Angeles, where I currently live. And I think that day I performed a Pink song. I don't know. It was just super fun. There's always bottomless mimosas, so I don't remember much of anything. But yeah, I'm what they used to call a bio queen. We don't use that term anymore. I'm a drag queen who just happens to have been born a biological woman.
I love it.
I love performing.
I mean, you look fabulous, and we've had at least one drag queen on the show, so you're our lucky number 2, I believe. Let's take a look at our second post. Yes, a full body. I'm loving it.
Yes. That is another drag brunch, but that dress, I have to do a little promo, was made by my sister, Mindy Lamore. I'm part of the House of Lamore, and she creates drag couture. So if there's any drag queens or aspiring drag queens out there, check her out, Mindy Lamore. And she's just amazing, and I love getting to wear any of her dresses, especially as Kitty, because you just feel super girly and just super fabulous.
I had no idea. How cool is that? That's amazing.
Oh, yeah.
And I think I have one more along the same lines. Yes. Tell me
one
about
more
this.
drag for y'all. That was the first show I performed during the pandemic, I think back in April. I'm part of this, it's called the Learn the Words Bitch family. I hope I'm allowed to curse on this. I'm just realizing
Go
that.
for it. That sounds great. I love it.
And I was part of, I had to set up a whole thing in my living room, putting my computer on top of books, trying to get lighting right. And that was a shot I took right before I performed there.
I just want to know, how did you end up doing drag? Like, what got you into this in the first place?
Sure. I mean, you see me right now. I love color. I love makeup. I love all that kind of stuff. And I've always loved drag. I'm queer. I'm part of the LGBTQ community. And when I was in Chicago, I always wanted to do drag, but it was like, I'm a woman, can't do it, until I met someone who was born female at birth who's like, oh no, you can do it, let's go. And from that point on, that was like 6 years ago, I've been performing, and I just love it.
Can I ask 2 more questions? One, how long does it typically take you to get ready, start to finish?
A good day, maybe an hour. I like to take my time, though. It's very meditative. You're slowly putting everything on, so probably at least 2. Covering up eyebrows is extremely difficult.
Mm-hmm.
Extremely hard, at least for me.
So I did one segment on here with the drag artist I referred to, who actually guided me from start to finish in doing drag makeup. So we did the whole glue on eyebrows thing.
Oh my God.
All of it. I have photos.
I need to see those. Did you just feel like infinitely more fabulous than you already are, if that's even possible?
I mean, it was quite, I just like I've already had so much respect, but like after going through the entire process, I was like, whoa, I complain about having to do my makeup. Like, this is a whole other level. Insane.
It's an extreme sport, I gotta say.
It's so crazy. And then my final question is, do you have an artist that you like to sing or lip sync? Like, what is your go-to?
Ooh, I have to say, I love doing some Gwen Stefani. She's not done a whole lot, and I've always been a big fan of hers. I know she can be slightly problematic, but I was always a No Doubt girl. I love doing Spiderwebs, Just a Girl, anything. And I'm dying to do her newer song, Slow Clap, whenever I get a chance to perform again. That's my next one.
I can't wait. I can't wait to see it. Okay, we have another post. Now we're heading in a new direction here.
Okay.
Tell me what this signifies. What's this
So,
from?
I think this predates you and I living together. It was that long ago. This is back in New York when I used to be a cocktail waitress, and this was a closing night at a restaurant called Asia to Cuba, may it rest. And I was reliving, Tina Fey did a photo shoot there. And as a writer, I'm a huge Tina Fey fan. And she, if you look up, it was like a Vice article or something she posed back in like 2011. So I was reliving my Tina Fey moment on top of the table there.
I mean, it's fabulous. And when were
Thank
you
you.
able to sort of exit your career doing hospitality work?
I tried many times, kept getting pulled back in. When I moved to Chicago, I was a bartender at the Second City. From there, was able to become the advertising and promotions coordinator within their training center. So I was like, great, I'm writing, I'm getting paid to do that. This is great. I moved to LA, couldn't get a writing gig. So I went back to bartending until I got accepted into this creative residency at an ad agency, and that's where my career took off. So it was just chance and luck and, you know, a little bit of talent, I suppose.
And
but
some hard work and like dedication.
all that.
For sure.
Yeah.
Like the perfect recipe for things to actually eventually happen, you know, as
100%.
we learn. So let's take a look at our next post, because I think that is the perfect place to end on this sort of tangent. Like, Captain Obvious, what? So cool.
Thank you, Captain Obvious, for letting me, you know, work on hotels.com. Yeah, I went from being a host, cocktail waitress, bartender to being a creative director at a major ad agency and leading the hotels.com team. Like, what?
I mean, unbelievable. It's so cool. And are you able to put your writing skills now, like you're a copywriter, is that sort of your role within the creative side of things at the ad agency?
And that was more so in the past. Now, as a creative director, I oversee all the creative. So I'm helping other copywriters who are now younger and in more junior positions than me, lift them up, teach them, help them grow, and just be like the kind of mentor I always hope to hope to have had when I was coming up, and just help them grow their skills. And I do write occasionally if I need to, but it's more so I'm just trying to help people create the best work they can.
I love that. It sounds like a really great fit for you.
It's fun.
I know we have one more video. It's a post, and it kind of shows you in action in all your glory. So let's take a look at this.
I wish I understood. It used to be so nice. It used to be so good.
Woo! Yes, there she goes. Oh my gosh, this makes me want to go. I need to like get out and see a show. I still haven't really done that, you know, post-pandemic yet. It's definitely one of the things I'm looking forward to.
You should. I mean, that was pre-pandemic. You can tell with my pre-pandemic weight and waist and all that. I look great there.
You still look great. You still look great.
Thank you. Thank you.
And everyone, we will be right back with Dana. We're putting her on the spot. Plus, we've got trivia for $2,500, so stick around.
Welcome to Display Tips. Let's get introduced to Profile. Tap the profile on bottom right of screen. Here, you can personalize your display experience. Tap the pencil icon to edit your profile picture, cover photo, basic user info including contact, and link to your other social media accounts. Select your preferred language, identify top friends and family members. You can also create and manage your communities here. Watch for more tips on Display TV.
I'm not dealing with the palm. My heart cold. All of my feelings is gone. Two hands, I'm willing to jump. I tell a bitch to chill in the car. I look at her body, it's giving me hard. You with a friend, I need a Nicki Minaj. I'm hitting them low. And we can take it where you willing to go. Bitches just dying to chill with the bros. You get killed for stealing the phone. I got y'all fools this time. Yeah. I go super saiyan every single day. Hold on. They like 50K, heard he feeling brave. Hold on. Had to tell that nigga we are not the same. Hold on. Had to tell that nigga stay up in your lane. Hold on. I got ice on me like I.
Listen, yeah, I dream in color, and I sleep on the canvas. I think we all need each other. Empathy, that could be our advantage. Bad bitch speak Creole or Spanish. Let this wait, then I'm liking my chances. Oh man, why go?
Welcome back. This is Today on Display. I'm your host, Sarah Pribis. And if you've been hanging with us, you know that I'm here with the fabulous Dana Angelo. We have just been getting to know her through her social presence. And now we're going to dive a little bit deeper and put her in the hot seat for our segment, On the Spot. This is pretty straightforward. We're just going to ask you a couple questions about your creative pursuits, your ambitions. So tell me first about your geographics. You've made a few moves. Were they tied? Yeah, were they tied to your career or creative aspirations?
Or just tied to my boredom. Yeah, I mean, you met me, and right after like 3 months, I think, of living together, I was like, I'm sorry, I need to leave New York because it turns out I have a fun little thing called severe depression. So that helped. If that was the impetus for that move, and then realized, yeah, let's try comedy. Let's go to Chicago. Also got diagnosed with the depression and got that fixed. So highly recommend, if you're feeling things, go talk to someone. I always openly talk about mental health struggles and all that. And then didn't really love the Midwest. It's a great place to visit, not for this Jersey gal. And then moved to LA. It will be 5 years come Labor Day weekend. And I have to say, I do love it here.
Oh my gosh. Happy LA 5-year anniversary almost.
Thank you.
And yeah. I still live in the apartment that I met Dana at.
I know.
It's so crazy.
I love it so much.
It's so crazy.
It's a great apartment though. It's huge for my New York standards. So if I were you, I'd never leave that place.
Truly. So tell me, what's been your favorite thing that you've created to date? Whether it's a tweet, a commercial, a character, what is something that is really special to you that sticks out in your mind?
I had a lot of fun. At my old agency, I used to do a lot of stuff for Netflix for marketing their movies. And we got to work on The Prom that came out, I think a year ago, which has a great LGBTQ message. And we got to write what ended up being a commercial featuring NFL players, just saying how men like musicals too, just to say, hey, it's not a gay thing. It's nothing like that. It's just fun. And who doesn't want to feel joy? And we got to make some jokes in it. And that's probably one of my most favorite pieces. Every time I watch it, it still makes me smile.
That's so cool. I mean, it's really awesome to be a part of something that you really, really believe in.
Totally.
On the flip side, I got to ask, I know I've had some, what's your worst creative horror story, whether it's something that didn't go as planned, someone who wrecked a vision that you had, or you embarrassed yourself in some way? Is there anything that sort of pops into your mind?
The first thing that pops into my head is just having partners that maybe you're mismatched with, and that just can make it hard to work together, because in advertising, usually a copywriter's partner with an art director. So you're bringing words and visuals together to create the best work. But if you two are just so dissimilar, can't see eye to eye, whether it's both creatively and life, that can be a struggle. I wouldn't say there's anything I'm embarrassed by, or would publicly say that anyway. But yeah, the hardest thing I've experienced in the industry is, when you don't work well with others.
I think
the work then it's going to show that. It's
that is a horror story. Yeah. I mean, I've been paired with scene partners or people that I've had to work with. My producer currently over there is like a real nightmare.
It's a mess.
Every day I just hate my job more and more because of him. I'm just kidding. Love my team here. But honestly, it's the dream team, and that's what makes my job so enjoyable. It makes it easier. So I know that on the flip side of things too, you really can be in a nightmare of a situation if you don't have someone.
I mean, that goes with any job, I would say.
Yeah.
If you don't like the people you're working with, you're miserable the whole time.
Yeah. If you weren't in a creative field, right? And let's also include advertising in that, of course.
Yeah.
What would you be doing for a living?
I mean, I think no matter what, I'd always be doing something creative. Like I always said, if I wasn't doing this, I'd go be like a nail technician just because I love nail stuff. Or probably doing like being a tour guide at a haunted place because I love ghost stuff.
I
Like
love that. That is a great answer. That is so unexpected. I want to know too, like, what is your biggest piece of advice for aspiring creatives, anyone that's watching right now?
I have two to give to everybody. The best piece of advice I was ever given that I pass along to everyone is don't be afraid to reach out to ask for help, whether it's strangers, a friend of a friend, and whether it's like, hey, how's your company? Or, hey, can you tell me a little more information about this? More so than not, people want to help each other. And if they can't, they'll tell you, or you have nothing to lose by just reaching out. It's all about networking, which then brings me to my next point, which is don't be an asshole. We all want to be able to enjoy working with each other. If you're just a good person, people like being around, and you also are kind of talented on top of it, you'll go so far. It's huge because everyone remembers that person was awesome. Bring them onto the team, or hey, I want to recommend them to do this.
Absolutely.
That's what I suggest.
I completely agree. Like, general great life advice too for anyone. Doesn't matter if you're creative or not. Like, just be a good human. Like, there's not enough of those, sadly. So
no,
do your duty and fill that role. So, and I have one more question for you, and maybe this is so silly, but I need to know what's Complain Jane?
So I love puns, which is such a big no-no in advertising, and I don't care. It's instead of a plain Jane, which I am certainly not, and I love to complain, so Complain Jane.
That makes perfect sense. I love it. Dana, thank you so much for joining us, and a reminder to all of you, you can follow her on display at Complain Jane, and now you know why the name. And folks, we have trivia for $2,500 next. Don't miss it.
Welcome to Display Tips. Let's check out more of what Profile has to offer. Tap the profile on bottom right of screen. The bottom section here is your post history and performance. For photos, tap here and scroll through all your posts and see how many likes, comments, shares, and supports you have. Tap videos to review your video and GIF history and performance too. It's all right here. Watch for more tips on Display TV.
Bienvenidos a Display TV.
We did it!
Y tienes que darle bien fuerte para poder llegar rápido. Guys, welcome to Cusco. Estamos en la hermosa ciudad de Mérida. Delicioso. Un aguachile de camarón.
Hello, everyone. You happy to see me? It's your quiz queen, Sarah Pribis, and I am here with this is a fat stack of cash. I mean, you can't see it, but whoo, that was heavy. I mean, earlier we spun the wheel, and tonight we are playing for $1,000. Ah! Okay, yeah, that's a lot of dollars. With that kind of money, the world is your oyster. In fact, at happy hour, you could buy 1,000 oysters or one really, 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 really old bottle of wine that's supposed to be important and go with those oysters, but it's probably a little overrated, right? Really, the possibilities are endless. But friends, display trivia isn't just about the money. No, it's about beating the competition, showing them who's boss, taking the title that is rightfully yours. And then it's about the money, the moolah, the big bucks. And then after that, it's about the fun and the knowledge. Yeah, but that's just like a very small amount. It's really about the money and the power, for sure. Right now, it's about damn time we got this show on the road, right? I see some hungry hippos No hungry trivia players in the chat. So here are the rules for trivia. You'll have 10 seconds to pick your answer and choose wisely because once you tap, there's no going back. If you miss one, you will no longer be eligible for the cash prize, but stay in the game because you can keep playing along for that little small piece, the fun, right? Plus, you get to watch me try to make jokes and attempt to sting and cheer on the other displayers. Lots of stuff to do, which means we really should get started. Yeah, we should. You ready to do this? Here we go. Question 1. What sport is played in the FIFA World Cup games? Football, hockey, dance. What sport is played in the FIFA World Cup games? Football, hockey, dance. The World Cup? I mean, that's gotta be one big cup. Why are big sports events always named after utensils? I mean, Super Bowl? Put some spinach and artichoke dip in there. Oh, there's some guac and queso. Now that is a Super Bowl. Well, great. Now I'm hungry and we're only on question 1. How am I gonna finish this game? Is everyone okay if I pause this game for just a quick sec? Say nothing if it's okay. Yeah, that sounds like silence to me. Oh, I gotta reveal the answer. Okay, all right, fine. So around the globe, this sport is known as football, and we're gonna kick it into question 2. Astigmatism is a condition that affects what part of the human body? Hands, eyes, ears. Astigmatism is a condition that affects what part of the human body? Hands, eyes, ears. Let's not get dramatic, okay? This condition's not super serious. It's like saying you have freckles. Nothing's wrong with you. You just, got another ism. Perfectionism. Oof, yeah, I have that one. Or liberalism. How about ventriloquism? No, never mind. Not ventriloquism. I don't really do puppets. Do puppets have astigmatism? I'm too scared to ask. Whether they do or they don't, astigmatism is a condition that affects the eyes. And I see all of you nailing this quiz right now. So let's head into question 3. In his 1965 song about a 4-letter word, Nat King Cole says L is for the way you love me, the way you look at me, the way you listen. In his 1965 song about a 4-letter word, Nat King Cole says L is for the way you love me, the way you look at me, the way you listen. I guess to answer this question, you'd have to know what 4-letter word he's singing about. A 4-letter word that starts with L. Lady. No, that's not it. Lamb. Mint jelly, please. I'm still hungry. Lamp. I love lamp. Ooh, lava lamp. Lava. It's got to be lava. Volcanoes were all the rage in the 60s, and Nat King Cole was a huge volcano fan, right? When are volcanoes not in? They're hot. L is for the way you look at me, and O is for I'm over the moon with how well you all are doing. He was singing about love, by the way. I got a little sidetracked, but boy, do I love all of you. Question 4. You might find all the following clefs on written music except treble, baritone, alto. You might find all of the following clefs on written music except treble, baritone, alto. I'm trying to resist the urge to sing on this question, but come on. It's a question about music. Sarah, don't do it. Don't do it. Don't do it. Don't do it. You can resist. Stop, Sarah. Stop in the name of love. Oh no, it's happening. Don't stop believing. I can't help it. Don't stop me now, 'cause I'm having a good time, having a good time. Oh, and now my producer is actually telling me to stop. I got it. Got it. Yep. Okay. Now, you all. Did you get it? Treble, bass, alto, and tenor. They're all the ways you'll see a clef. Now, no clef hangers. Let's move on to question 4. In the standard most recent edition, Monopoly money does not come in which of the following denominations? $1, $25, $100. In the standard most recent edition, Monopoly money does not come in which of the following denominations? $1, $25, $100. Wait, people are still making cash? With credit cards and Apple Pay and PayPal, why would anyone still use cash, right? How ridiculous. ooh, you know what? I have a great idea. Why don't you all just send me your cash? You know what? That's actually a really, really good idea. You don't want any more. Come on. It's practically obsolete. Consider it an act of service. And the pleasure is all mine. Yes, yes. My first purchase with all my new cash? Park Place, please. Now all I need is Boardwalk and a hotel, and we are in business. The only number you will not see on a Monopoly bill is 25. We're more than 2 quarters through our quiz, though. We're into the next half. Question 6. In the musical set in Manhattan and based on Romeo and Juliet, which is not one of the street gangs? Emeralds, Jets, Sharks. In the musical set in Manhattan and based on Romeo and Juliet, which is not one of the street gangs? Emeralds, Jets, Sharks. Shakespeare plus music? Be still, my heart. Fun fact, the answer that we're looking for here was actually the original name of the opposing gang when the creators began work on this musical. In its original conception, it was going to take place still in Manhattan, but in the Lower East Side between Catholics and Jews. The more you know, the more you earn. Well, of course you know that. And if you also knew that the Emeralds was not one of the street gangs in West Side Story, you are one question closer to your own happy ending in your story. Question 7. All of the following American presidents have been impeached except Clinton, Johnson, Nixon. All of the following American presidents have been impeached except Clinton, Johnson, Nixon. Impeachment doesn't necessarily mean you're out. It's mostly just like a really fancy written warning that goes on your record and that everyone knows about. So like a full list of all your parking tickets being broadcast over the loudspeakers every time you walk into the DMV. Yikes. But I mean, at least that would add some excitement to the experience. The only dude on this list to not get impeached, totally not a crook. Nixon was about to be impeached, but chose to resign. Just missed him. Question 8. Which of the following Beatles tracks is incorrectly matched with its album? In My Life, Rubber Soul, Ticket to Ride, Help, Michelle, Revolver. Which of the following Beatles tracks is incorrectly matched with its album? In My Life, Rubber Soul, Ticket to Ride, Help, Michelle, Revolver. Beatles. I mean, I think I've heard of them. Is that like a new indie band? Are they anything like the Ladybugs? Yeah, I'm definitely gonna have to check them out. Are they playing Coachella this year? Yeah, I keep up with all the latest trends, which is why I bring my Lisa Frank Trapper keyboard to work every day. Yeah, I can't make it to happy hour today, guys. I got jazzercise. Has anyone seen my Walkman? All the best trends, you know, they come back around. But Michelle, she's no Revolver. You can find that track on Rubber Soul. Let's bounce into question 9. The capital of the Canadian province, abbreviated BC, gets its name from what? A military leader's hometown, a native word for the land, a British explorer's name. The capital of the Canadian province, abbreviated BC, gets its name from what? A military leader's hometown, a native word for the land, a British explorer's name. Canada, eh? Home of poutine and ice hockey and bears, oh my. Also the Owl Queen, shout out to Heather King and all of our other Canadian displays. Who's repping Canada in the chat? I mean, you can't tell me right now, but tell me later. And home, of course, to BC. Before Christ? Which came first, the BC or the BC? Now that'll get your brain in a tizzy. Sort of like this quiz. I mean, geography and history were never really my strong suit, but woo, look at all of you crushing this question and knowing that BC, British Columbia, gets its name from the Columbia Rediviva. Rediviva. That's an American ship which tipped its hat, or should I say, bow, to Christopher Columbus. Yes, the explorer. It's time for the final question. Here we go, Q10. This nation, formerly known as Bohemia, has all of the following Roman Catholic patron saints except Jerome, Procopius, Ludmilla. This nation, formerly known as Bohemia, has all of the following Roman Catholic patron saints except Jerome, Procopius, Ludmilla. Free People has a patron saint? I mean, that must be why the clothes are so expensive. They got people taking a cut off the top. And they're cutting up all the tops. And they're cutting up all the tops. Yeah, that distressed look is in, but for real. Okay, although boho chic will forever be the look of rich white ladies who want to look poor for some reason, Bohemia is actually a defunct nation that encompassed present-day Czech Republic, which has all of the following patron saints except Jerome. He's busy taking care of Croatia, but it seems like they're doing okay. Yeah. What about you guys? What about you? Any winners? Throw those scores in the chat. You know what? Even if you're embarrassed, because maybe it'll encourage someone else. Plus, you know what? We could all admit this stuff's not easy. Still working on my pronunciations. I don't even know how you're playing. And you chose to be here on a Monday, working those brains to make it rain. You know what? I applaud you, my display bees. You're showing up on the first day of the work week. Good on you. Go put a face mask on, rest up for more trivia, and I'll see you tomorrow on display.
Performing exclusively on display, Hot Boy Mafia.
Yo quiero, en mi corazón todo gatillero. Empecé fue regando todo Grammy, pero ahora me llegan enteros. Chorita cuero, yo ni loco se lo meto al pelo. Empecé fue regando todo Grammy, pero ahora me llegan enteros. Dinero contando y el crack cocinando. Otro lo mueve y los clientes aumentando. Moca con los monos que no están ubicando. Joseamos en silencio y si viene le mando. Dinero contando y el crack cocinando. Otro lo mueve y los